Welcome to Secret Dealers, the show where we value everything in your home and you decide what to keep and what to sell. Our team of dealers are about to be let into two houses they've never seen before.
This is my type of house, I'll tell you now.
Really nice piece.
With thousands of pounds of their own money at stake, they have to compete against each other to leave secret bids on the items they want most, testing their years of expert knowledge to the limit.
Lester Piggott on Dickinson.
In today's show, all the dealers fall in love with one copper box. Mike's up to his old tricks. Yeah. Now that was sneaky, wasn't it? That's a bit of a red herring,
That's just life.
That's war.
And something long forgotten brings a big surprise.
Wow.
Our first stop today is County Durham and this semi-detached house. Inside the tidy rooms, tucked all around the newer items, are a variety of antiques and collectibles, with china, decorative objects and smaller pieces of furniture vying for space. This all belongs to Pam, who spent 20 years collecting it.
I started going to the antique fairs and just gradually got an interest in more and more things. And then when we moved into a large 200-year-old house, just filled it with antique furniture and bits and pieces.
But now she's downsized, it's time to make some space and hopefully raise some money for the important things in life.
I've decided to sell some of my antiques and collectibles to enable me to visit my daughter in Australia, who I haven't seen for a few years.
So the more money raised, the better. But just what is she prepared to sell?
This copper box I bought at auction around about 14 years ago. It's arts and crafts, copper and pewter, and it also has the Ruskin roundels. And I just hope I get a good bid from the dealers.
I'm sure it will, Pam. Another antique that's bound to attract the dealer's attention is this 18th century longcase clock. It's Scottish, and on the small side, which makes it very commercial. But Pam's had this clock for 20 years and is very fond of it, so the bids will have to be strong to tempt her. And I notice that's not the only item from north of the border.
There seems to be a bit of a Scottish theme going on. You've got Scottish artists, the longcase clock in the hall is a Scottish maker. What's going on there?
Well, I lived in just north of Aberdeen for about 20 years.
Do you know, Pam, I think the dealers are going to love your house. Are you looking forward to it?
Yes, I am, yes. Very much so.
Alison, Mike and Simon are our dealers today, and they're wasting no time.
Great mirror, like the clock.
Well, hang on, let the boys have a chance. This is a relatively modern house, but it is stuffed full of really good antiques. So do you want to get started, or do you want to get started?
Come on, let's go.
Let's
Come
go.
on.
Come on.
I'll take the bedroom.
I'll go in here then.
This is my type of house, I'll tell you now. We've got Moorcroft to the right, we've got Doulton here, we've got Crown Derby in the cabinet, so I've got to work at the speed of light.
What can I find in here to take home with me?
I wasn't wrong about Pam's copper box. It's already got Mike excited.
Here's good. This is a bit of arts and crafts, copper. I'm looking for a mark, but without any shadow of a doubt. These little green buttons are actually pottery. They were made by Ruskin. Classic arts and crafts pottery from around about 1900, 1910, that type of thing. Really, really stylish. I'm loving it. It's good, it's a nice thing. Oh, hecky peck.
Have you forgotten something, Mike? If you like it, leave a bid.
Now, I'm crouched behind this armchair because I have just found the sweetest little bit of furniture. Now, between the Regency period in 1820 and the start of the Victorian period in the late 1830s comes the William IV period. And this is what this is. It's a little pot cupboard, and you can tell it's William IV, firstly, by looking at the legs. They haven't got the fine elegance and the narrowness of the Regency period, but they're not quite chunky enough to be Victorian. Now, this would have gone beside a gentleman's bed, and inside here, you would hide your chamber pot. I think it's definitely worth a strong bid.
In the bedroom, Alison has found a dressing table set fit for a queen.
Garrards. Well, it would be good, wouldn't it? Makers for the Queen. And then this It's little angels, all their heads, very classic. And this will be natural bristle. And it's actually bristle from pigs.
Alison bids for the mirror and the brush separately, and to put the boys off the scent, she puts them under an artificial poppy. Simon is hot on early 20th century decorative ware, and in the kitchen, holding the grapes, is a pristine figure sporting the distinctive pink triangle mark of the acclaimed factory, Royal Ducks.
It's in very good condition. I've had this model before, actually. I also like the colours on it as well, because sometimes they do this model actually in just the ivory colour, and it's much nicer if you've got the green and the pinks on it, so that helps it a bit as well. So, but hoping that that's perfect.
That's a first bid for Simon. And that hidden pot cupboard hasn't escaped Mike's attention.
I've got to move. This original wooden knob, turn-legged, Scottish, retaining flaps there.
And now Mike's found it, I think the others can't be far behind.
You can't get more arts and craftsy looking than that, really.
You like?
I like very much. There's no marks on it anywhere.
Not that I can see, no. It's even nice inside. You've
Yeah,
got
I
this
like
sort
the
of
rivets.
riveted.
Yeah,
really nice, isn't
really
it?
nice, yeah.
Serious bid then?
I think so.
Well, this house is putting a spring in our dealer's steps, and bids are going down all over the place. But there's one rather large item that has so far gone unnoticed. Right at the heart of Pam's Scottish theme is this longcase clock, bought in Aberdeen 20 years ago, and it's Mike that makes the first move.
The face will date between 1760 and 1780. There's a gap between the hood and the face. We would call that a marriage, where the face and the case have been put together at a later date. It's a nice clock.
If it's a marriage, it's a beautifully matched one. Now Alison's seen that pot cupboard that Mike's bid on. Will she take the plunge? Yes! Let's hope it's a strong challenge. Meanwhile, it looks like Mike has finally got round to bidding on the copper box, now that Simon's made an offer.
That
This is causing quite a stir.
Made by somebody called William Lundy from Aberdeen.
And now Mike has got hold of that Royal Ducks maiden.
That dates from around about sort of 1930s. Wonderful little thing. Nice, sensuous, beautiful.
Has she really won Mike's heart? We'll find out later. Decorative enthusiast Alison was always going to be drawn to the fine detail on that copper box.
It's in the style of Liberties. It's beautiful, though.
The London department store was at the forefront of the arts and crafts movement, commissioning and retailing artists' work.
Really nice piece.
That's all our dealers captivated by that box. Time is getting short, so Alison steps up a gear, hitting the kitchen and that Royal Ducks figure.
We've got 2 bids here already. So they've obviously checked her out, but I want to do it myself. There's the red triangle mark.
Simon's been drawn back to the copper box. It has 3 bids and he's getting nervous.
And I don't want to lose it for the sake of a few quid. I just think it's got a magical look about it, which is why I'm going to change my bid on it and leave a bit more. I don't know. I don't know.
At the last minute, Alison finally gets round to that longcase clock she admired at the door.
I don't do clocks, but anything from Scotland. This is about 1780, 1790.
The dealers have had a field day with Pam's raft of top-quality possessions. But which items are they most desperate to secure?
If there was one thing in this house I would like to take home, I'd actually cover it would be the arts and crafts copper, pewter and stone inlaid box. I really loved it.
I really liked the arts and crafts copper box. I really wished I'd left a bit more money on it, to be honest, and I'd really like to own it, so I wish I could go back in time and leave a bit more.
It would have to be the copper box. It was so Liberties in design. Now, ordinarily, you'd get a registration mark, and I could see nothing on that.
We'll find out later who wants it most and if they get it. But our dealers have left 61 more bids around the house. Now it's time to tell Pam how much money she could make today.
In this envelope is the amount that's on the table today.
Okay. Gosh, 8,960. I'm stumped for words.
So how much do you think you're going to have to get rid of to get that much money?
Everything?
Well, should we go and have a look?
Let's have a look.
First, it's that George III pot cupboard I found in the living room. Both Mike and Alison liked it and placed bids. Pam has dismissed Alison's offer of £210 without hesitation. Can Mike be more persuasive with his bid?
£495. If you were to put it into auction, an estimate would be between £300 and £500.
Right.
That makes
That's
that a very good price.
Yes.
I suppose I have to let some things go. Yes, I accept that.
Quite sure?
Yeah, sure.
£495 is yours.
Good.
It's a very usable, nice piece of furniture, and it will be instantly sold.
That's a good, solid start for Pam's flight fund. Next, it's the 1930s Royal Dutch Art Nouveau girl, which all three dealers wanted.
The thing about Royal Dutch is you either love it or you don't. And all three dealers loved it, Pam. And they've all left you a bid in her shell. Would you want to sell her?
Yes. Because when my grandchildren come, they want the fruit out of it, and I'm terrified they'll knock it over.
Right. Well, Mike has bid you £286.
Sounds a little bit on the low side.
The independent valuation for her is between £300 and £400. Two more bids, Pam.
Mm-hmm.
Simon says 315.
That's a bit better.
Well, it's brought a smile to your face. Alison says 320. These bids are all pretty close,
They are.
particularly between Simon and Alison. I'm going to call all three dealers back in. See if we could just get a little bit more, Pam.
That's a good idea.
Pam, meet Simon.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Hello.
Alison.
Hello.
And Mike.
Hiya, Pam.
Hello, Mike.
Now you three, you're all very close. To make certain sure you can take this home, you need to rebid.
Well, I'm actually quite happy with what I left.
Are you now?
Yeah, because of all the ducks figures I've seen, I don't think she's the nicest looking.
What are you trying to say, Mike?
Ugly.
Matt, you know I said...
She's not That's not fair.
You know I said you either love Royal Ducks or you don't.
That's right.
Alison and Simon, what do you think?
It's close, isn't it?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. OK, Pam. Alison says 320. She's sticking. Simon has taken a flyer and says 385.
I think Simon wins.
Well done, Simon.
Thank you very much indeed, Pam.
The bids are strong today, and Pam is obviously keen to take the cash. More sales follow, including an early 20th century svelte figure to Mike for £979. A 9-carat gold bracelet to Simon for £195. And Alison bought that Garrard silver brush for £58. Well, Pam's house is emptying at quite a rate, and her purse is filling fast. Next, though, it's that longcase clock which Mike and Alison both bid on. Its resale prospects are good because it's unusually small and will fit in almost any size home. But it's been with Pam for over 20 years, and I sense this could be hard to give up.
This rather worried expression has come across your face. Tell me what you're thinking.
It'd be difficult to part with. It looked beautiful in my big old house, but in this house it just doesn't seem to fit. But I still like it.
OK, we've got 2 bids here.
Yes.
Alison says £500.
No, I think I'd rather keep it.
Independent valuation, £600 to £800. OK.
Okay.
Mike says £875.
Tempting. My children don't want it. I think I'd let it go at that.
Quite sure, final answer?
Final answer.
We've got a sale. I get the feeling you're just a tinsy bit sentimental about this.
I am, yes. But the flight to Australia's a bit more tempting.
That was a real test of will for Pam, but she's determined to get on that plane to Australia to visit her daughter Linda, who lives out there. Things didn't go all the dealer's way, though. Pam wasn't afraid to say no when the price was too low. She turned down £395 from Mike for this large Victorian gilt mirror, £130 from Simon for her Victorian mahogany nursing chair, and £105 also from Simon for this 1825 silver pocket watch. So, none of our dealers can be complacent with the next item, the stunning copper and pewter box which had all our dealers under its spell. They're all enchanted, but only one can win.
The whole thing combined is a beautifully crafted piece, isn't it?
It is, yes, I love it.
How do you feel about selling it, Pam?
Well, it has been just packed away in a box in the loft for a while.
Well, you've got 3 bids there, Pam.
Good.
Alison has bid you £150.
No chance.
No chance. Sorry, Alison, you're out. Why no chance?
I actually paid more than that for it.
Independent valuation on this box now is probably between £300 and £500.
Yes.
Simon says 320.
That's more like it.
Do you think you'd sell it for that, Pam?
It all depends what the other bid is.
Well, Mike, I think really wanted to take this home.
Good.
But Mike says 475.
Sold.
You didn't have to think about that, did you?
No.
People who deal in arts and crafts will understand it's a great thing.
Our dealers loved Pam's house and showed their appreciation in strong bids. But how much money will Pam pocket today? It's time to hand over the cash.
Well, you have made today, Pam, 2,000, 4,000, 6,453 pounds.
Good heavens. I didn't expect that. Right, I'm off to Australia.
Well, thank you so much, and I hope you have a fantastic time.
I will, thank you very much.
For our second house, we're off to South Wales and this imposing Victorian home. Inside the lofty rooms are an assortment of collectibles spread over 3 floors. John and Kay live here with their daughter Abby and son Callum. Kay's inherited most of the items in this house from her mum and 2 of her aunts, and they've been living with 3 persons worth of stuff for a very long time. But now they've decided to downsize, and that means having a clear out. But for Kay, that won't be as easy as it sounds.
There's an awful lot of things that have a lot of emotional memories and a lot of emotional ties. But at the end of the day, they're in boxes, aren't they?
They've been boxes for 30 years.
Yeah.
And some of their collectibles have been tucked away for so long, they can't remember what they've got.
What's in this box, John?
Couldn't tell you. You know, this is probably the second or third time I've seen them. They've been in the loft 13 years. They never come out.
It's 40 coins of the old English counties in silver. Absolutely gorgeous to look at, but not looked at much if they're in a box in the attic.
Question is, will the dealers find them? Something they are sure to spot is their china collection, especially this Beswick Leicester Piggott on Nijinsky, which the dealers know will appeal to both racing and Beswick collectors. And after spending many years trying to renovate the house to get it ready to sell, whatever money John and Kay raise today will be spent on...
Decorator.
Absolutely.
Well, the hall might not be immaculate for our dealers, but John has had a haircut for the occasion.
Kay and John, you've got a lot of ornaments.
Oh, loads, far too many. Inherited from my mother mainly. Not collected by myself. I don't even know what my own tastes are because I've never had to find out.
Are you attached to them sentimentally at all?
There are some pieces that I am, yes, but the attachment now is in here, not in the material possessions. They've become a bind rather than a pleasure. And I don't want to do the same to my daughter.
So today is the day you've made the decision and you want to have a clear out?
Yes. I think I'll start with a white room and one little pebble at the corner and build on from that. Any buyers for the house, that's going as well.
The house is up for grabs, OK? I'll let them know.
Kay and John have left us their home for an hour, so let's get the team in.
Come on then, lads.
Our eager dealers are Karen Dalmany.
I'm going to start at the top and work down.
Mike Melody.
Might as well follow you then.
And Henry Nichols.
I'm going to go in here.
Karen is dashing right to the top of the house, but she's got company.
Follow my leader.
You're not supposed to be coming up here. You're supposed to be stopping. The loft space is where Kay and John keep the items they don't have room to display, including that collection of coins they'd like to sell. Karen and Mike prefer to deal in antiques, so they're looking for age, and it looks like they won't find it in the loft.
What have we got? A collection of coins, a load of collectible plates, a bit modern for me, unfortunately.
That's 1976. If I kept them another 30 or 40 years, it's probably worth a few bob. Problem is, will I be around?
So 2 dealers have passed on the coin collection. Kay and John's hopes for a sale are looking precarious.
You love Cindy's, don't you? You told me you love Cindy's. OK.
Now, this is something a little bit different that I found. It's got all the ingredients of an Art Nouveau rustic art pot. It's got incised decoration, handmade details. All these piercings have been cut out of the pottery, and it's a lovely rustic colour. Now, this is just the sort of thing that art potters or factories in the turn of the century would be producing. But this has given us no clue on the bottom. There's no potter's mark, no factory stamp. But I think the design and the style of this piece alone makes it collectible. Let's see if the dealers find it.
In the back room, Henry has found the display cases full of collectible china.
Quite a sweet figurine. This one's probably 1930s, I would say. Made in Staffordshire. Quite intricately done, but the problem is with this crinoline dress that we've got here, it's all down to condition. And unfortunately, she has suffered little bits of damage, as you would expect her to for her age.
Karen has moved on to the bedroom and has found something more her thing, a box of assorted jewellery, including 2 gold chains.
Kate, have you tested these?
Very roughly.
Yeah.
56 grams.
56 grams
9
of
carat.
9, OK. Right, so...
Armed with the all-important weight, Karen leaves one bid for the lot and hides it. Aha, it didn't take Henry long to find that pot I picked out.
I just love the colours of this. It's really quite vibrant. Not in bad condition either.
Mike sifting through that assorted jewellery box.
I'll get the bins out. Here we go. That's better. Oh, it's a charm bracelet. See, I couldn't see that.
Mike hasn't noticed that Karen's left a bid on the box, but great minds think alike.
The lot. That's that.
Meanwhile, staying one step ahead of Mike, Karen picks up that rustic pot Henry has bid on.
When they glaze pottery, it turns to almost a liquid and it falls over onto the base, and then you have like this overflowing base here, and these patches here is where it sticks to the kiln and it has to be separated, so that's why you get these rough patches. It's about 100 years old, but it's a decorative piece. I'll put a little bid on that, I think.
A little bid, Karen. You do have competition. Out of all the dealers, it's Mike who seems to be drawn to some Royal Doulton figures.
I was actually looking at these on an online site only the other day, and remarkably reasonable they were.
They date from the 70s and 80s, rather late for him, but they get a bid all the same. Now, Henry loves jewellery, so that little box in the bedroom should appeal.
Oh, here we go. This is like Christmas for me. It looks like what we've got here is 2 9-carat chains and a matching bracelet. Now, a lot of this is going to go on the weight of the gold. 2 quite sweet little silver charm bracelets here. Variety of charms on here. From prams to shells to windmills, teapots.
The bracelet may be charming, but it's the gold that determines his bid. In the back room, I think Mike's onto a winner.
Lester Piggott on Nijinsky.
It's getting pretty crowded in here.
This is Mark Beswick, winner of the Triple Crown 1970.
Good elf.
There we go.
Lovely. Does he sell?
Yes, he does.
Good, as long as I know. Oops. Does he sell with no ears?
Mike leaves a bid, and it looks like Henry's already left a sneaky bid of his own. Then Karen joins in the fray.
Right, there's my bid. Complete set, all 3 of us.
So that's 3 bids for the GG.
Come on, you're allowed. No, see, he's heard about Mike Melody. Even the cat's heard about Mike Melody.
Henry's found his way to the loft, and he seems much more keen on the commemorative coins than Karen and Mike did.
I have to do this very carefully. I just want to establish whether the coins are actually silver. And they are.
These coins were struck to commemorate the changing of the English county borders in 1974. Each county has its own coin. Henry finds more silver, a set of gold-plated ingots produced to mark the centenary, also in 1974, of Winston Churchill's birth.
These will probably be the antique of the future. OK, what I'm going to be bidding on, I think, is the silver ingots here, this coin collection, and this silver salver there.
The silver salver features an equestrian design by a member of the Royal Academy, John Skeeping. Henry is not afraid of long-term investments. He used to work in a bank. In the living room, Mike has got his hands on that lovely rustic vase.
Don't even think who I'm going to sell it to. I'll firstly decide whether I like it. And believe it or not, in my experience, somebody else will like it. Unfortunately, sometimes it takes 20 years to sell, but that's just life.
A few last-minute bids and a bit of argy-bargy.
To look through the drawer, excuse me. That'll do.
And time's up.
Ladies first. Age before
After
beauty.
you.
Age before beauty.
Oh, come on.
So, as they close the door on their bids, which items are they most keen to buy?
There was a very stylish sort of arts and crafts out in a old vase, pottery vase downstairs, which I just thought had a little bit of character about it. And I'd be happy to own that.
The one I really want is the collection of coins. I've got some wonderful collectors for silver coins, and they'll be very happy, as will I.
Quite like Lester Piggott. I mean, if I end up owning that, that'd be nice.
John and Kay have 19 bids on their possessions today. Time to tell them how much cash is on offer.
In this envelope is the total sum of what they've offered today.
Okay. Wow, 3,832. Wow, it'll certainly get the hall decorated.
And perhaps a bit more.
Yes. I'll be interested to see where that comes from.
Our team of secret dealers has swept through Kay and John's house, leaving sealed bids on anything they want to buy. Now it's time to find out if those offers are tempting enough. First, it's that small box of jewellery which attracted all of our dealers' bids. Those bids are for the box and all its contents. Kay and John are quite happy to convert it into cash, but now the dealers have uncovered it, there could be a problem.
There is one thing in there, this, that my daughter had never seen before, and she's kind of taken a bit of a shine to it.
So she's seen it now and quite likes it?
These charm things are all coming back in vogue these days, and because it was her nan's.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting, isn't it? Because you said to me at the very beginning, I want it all to go.
Yeah.
And actually, when you come to it and you start looking at what you've actually got, there's something here that you're quite reluctant to part with because of your daughter, and your daughter is even more reluctant because of the family history.
Yes, I think she'll regret it, but still.
What if I brought them back in, said they couldn't have the charm bracelet, but they can have the rest of the box, and they can adjust their bids accordingly?
Okay.
Into boudoir?
Into the boudoir. John and Kay, this is Karen, Henry,
Hello.
and Mike. Hello. Now, guys and girls, Kay and John do not want to sell one piece, which is the charm bracelet. So that is out of the equation. The rest, they would love to sell.
Okay.
Suspense is killing me, I don't know about you.
Yes.
Fantastic. 3 new bids.
Right.
Okay. Henry says 620.
Right.
He did say 650, so he's only gone down £30.
Hmm.
Karen says 570. Karen had bid 520.
I've gone up.
Right.
Mike says 575. So the winner is Henry. £620 on the table.
Shake
What are you
hands
gonna
out.
do?
Yes.
I'll grab it quick.
Fantastic.
We've got a sale.
Lovely.
Well, that's a phenomenal start for Kay and John, and next it's the collection of Royal Doulton figures based on the Bramley Hedge children's books. Kay's mother collected these for many years, and Kay inherited them, whether she liked it or not.
Not my taste at all. It's too twee.
Well, Mike left you a bid for the whole lot. Okay.
Right. Okay.
£195.
I don't want them anymore, John, do you?
Then sell them.
Have we got a sale?
Yes.
Sold.
Do you know, John looks about 10 years younger now you said that.
That's just under the low end of the independent valuation, but Kay and John are more than happy to take the cash. And the sales keep coming. Kay and John sold that Staffordshire figure of a ballerina to Karen for £60, a Victorian copper kettle to Mike for £32, and a Beswick jockey on horseback to Henry for £60. But what about that other Beswick racing piece, which all our dealers liked? Because of the popularity of Lester Piggott and his Mount Nijinsky, our independent valuer thinks it's worth £150 to £200. Karen offered the most with £150, but Mike was only £10 behind her. So I've asked them all back in to see if we can get a little bit more.
£150 is on the table from Karen, and I know all 3 of you want it. But if you want to take it home, you've got to give us another bid.
Well, in all fairness, the last one I stuck on an internet site, after fees and all the rest of it, that's all I got.
Well, I'm happy to stick where I am.
Henry's sticking.
You two sticking irons.
No, I've gone
I'm
up a
sticking.
touch.
Okay.
Okay, lovely. We've got 2 new bids. Karen says 160.
Touch more.
Right.
Mike
I'll have to take a blow.
says 165.
You played
Now, that was sneaky,
Right,
wasn't it?
that's
That's
it.
a bit of a red herring,
That's
right?
just life.
That's war.
That's life.
165. What are you going to do?
Oh.
You're happy with the one, weren't you?
No, I'm happy with the idea of not dusting it anymore.
Have we got a deal?
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yes.
I'm going to kill him.
I'll earn out of the lesser picket figure probably £25, £30.
Is that really worth Karen's wrath, Mike? Next, it's that rustic vase I found in the living room. All the dealers were struck by its colourful Art Nouveau style, but can they strike a deal? Now, this is something a bit different, isn't it? Where did this come from?
It was my dad's. My mother recently gave it to me. I don't know why I accepted it because I'm trying to get rid of stuff.
Do you like it, John?
No, it's pottery. It's just not my thing at all. And it's up for sale.
Let's have a look at the bids. Henry says 45.
Sold.
Sold straight away? Yeah. Well, just before you flog it for £45, Karen has bid you £80.
Wow.
I told you
I
that
think it was
Karen was
enough,
very
yeah.
discerning.
If you were to put that into auction, an estimate would be between £80 and £120. So that is a pretty good bid. We do have a bid from Mike. He says 95.
I didn't think it was worth anything. So £95, I'm quite pleased about it, actually.
And Kay, you'd sell it like a shot by the sound of things.
I'd give it away for a cup of tea.
Well, I'd like to run it past my mother first.
So you think she might be slightly disappointed if you do let it go, perhaps?
Kay's just flogged all her heritage. I'd like my mum's permission for me to do mine.
Or do you want to give her a call?
Yes?
Okay.
Hello, Mum. You know that green pot of Dad's? I've got a bid on that. What do you think I should do? Shall I hang on to it or sell it? Get rid? Okay. Bye. No, she said if you get anything for it, flog it.
Really?
Yeah.
So she's quite happy?
Yes, she is.
So we've got a sale?
You have.
Fantastic.
The green pot's gone.
Wonderful.
I really am happy, and I can see a proper profit in that.
Thanks to John's mum, it's yet another sale. But John and Kay did refuse to sell a handful of things, turning down Henry's offer of £170 for a 9-carat gold necklace and bracelet, £100 for a modern silver dressing table set, and £625 for a large jewellery box and its contents. Finally, it's that collection of commemorative coins Kay and John are hoping to sell. Henry wants these, and included in his bid are 12 gold ingots honouring Churchill and a silver salver by John Skeeping. I think this could be big money if they sell it all. So have they been up here for quite some time then, John?
Yes, in the attic.
15 years.
No on display anymore.
Henry has bid you for all that little lot £1,200.
Wow. That's quite a lot of money for something hiding in the attics.
It's a serious amount of money, isn't it?
It is, yes. Well, hooray, Henry. Sold.
Happy?
Delighted with that, yes.
The independent valuation is between £1,000 to £1,500.
Yeah.
A cash bid of £1,200 is an excellent bid.
I'm very pleased to buy the collection of silver coins. That's the one thing that I really wanted in the house.
Kay and John have had some big wins today, but they've also turned down some tempting offers. So how much cash are they taking away today? You have made today, in 1 hour, £3,072.
Wow.
That is all yours.
Just mine. You handed it to me.
Not to us.
We're a partnership.
That is a serious sum of money, isn't it?
You have no idea what a difference that will make. The idea of having to do that hallway and stairs on our own was...
Well, it takes me months. It's going to take a painter and decorator a week.
Our dealers have handed over £9,500 today, but were they shrewd buys? Mike sold the Beswick Leicester Pigott for £190 and the pottery vase for £150. He thinks the arts and crafts box was made by the Scottish School of Handicrafts and he's holding out for a good price. And the mahogany pot cupboard he said would be instantly sold is still in stock. Henry sold the coins, ingots and salver to a collector for £1,380, but Simon is yet to sell the Royal Duck's figure. And what about our homeowners? Kay and John have spent some of the money they made on materials to finish their haul. They didn't get a decorator in though. John's finally done it himself. And Pam's planning her trip to Australia later in the year.
I'll see you next time on Secret Dealers.